So, you've been thinking about playing the Pokemon trading card game but don't know where to start. Well, Pokemon just released another fantastic item for new players, intermediate players, and advanced players to buy that anyone can use and enjoy. And this right here is the Pokemon Trainers Toolkit for 2023. Pokemon always releases a new box like this every single year to keep up with the standard rotation. And inside of these boxes are a bunch of things you need to play the game, including a lot of staples that you can rotate between decks. So that way you're prepared for whatever deck you want to play down the road. And it has one of the most popular Pokemon in the game for using for decks, Arceus and Arceus VSTAR. And before we get into opening this box, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the friends over at Manta Trading. They actually gave me this box for free to show to you guys today. If you guys want to buy any Pokemon cards at all, especially if you're in Canada, use my promo code SneakerTalkTCG to save 5% off at mantatrading.com. So yeah, I figured let's spread the good karma, continue the good karma train. They gave me this box for free, so I'm going to give away both the Arceus V and Arceus VSTAR in this box. And to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit that like button down below, and comment down below telling me where the Arceus V cards would go if they end up in your hands. Would they go into a deck? Would they go into a binder? Let's crack this box open. Let's show you guys everything that's inside. It gives you a small teaser of all the stuff that you can expect. The stuff that they give you in these boxes every year are very, very similar. Let's slide this cover, and wow, there you go, yellow this time. So the previous ones you guys saw earlier with the B-roll footage was blue and purple. This box right here is actually really useful to store decks in. It also has some organizational features inside, so let's just take that. Oh, there we go. So as you can see right here, the left side here is compartmentalized, so you can fit about 3 deck boxes, which is really handy. And on the right side here, you can also fit some more stuff. So you can decide how you want to organize it. The dice right here, very nice dice. Honestly, these are probably some of the better dices I've seen from the official Pokemon company. So black and gold right here with some gold sprinkles, you could say, some speckles on the dice. Really useful for playing the game, of course. And then you also have the yellow sort of like see-through semi-transparent die right here, and you always roll these larger dies at the start of the game to decide who goes first or second, not the damage counters. Next up, we got the poison and burn marker. These are the same for the ETBs as well. The star marker right here, which you're going to want to use when you use Starbirth. The sleeves are just like previous years, just like the boxes actually. So it has a yellow and gold theme here, or a black, yellow, gold theme here. Previous years was the purple and blue ones, and the sleeve design is exact same, but the color on the wheel that they used is different. So yeah, oh, they got gold on the inside too. Now, to be honest, these kind of sleeves are not the greatest for playing for extensive hours, lots and lots of time. They last not too long. I'd say maybe 5-6 hours of thorough gameplay. They're very easy to damage and break. If you want to play competitively and have an easier time shuffling your cards, I highly recommend 3 other brands. You got Ultra Pro, I think you got Katana, and then you got my favorite, Dragon Shield. And I'll probably throw these up on my eBay store if someone wants to buy these. So if you're looking for singles for your binder or for your decks, you guys can check out my eBay store link down below. We've been selling a lot of cards recently, so I really appreciate you guys. Next up, we have this right here, a code card, which I will save to use online or give it to somebody online during a live stream, because this code card right here will give you all the contents of this box. So it's going to give somebody the Arceus V and the V-Star. Next up, you have an energy brick right here. This thing is massive. There's a lot of energies in here. They give you enough so that pretty much if you want to build any type of Pokemon card deck, you're able to. Most decks don't play more than like 12 to 14 energies of like one exact energy. So keep that in mind if you want. But yeah, they have all the energies here. Not organized, of course. They would never organize it. That's just too good. They would never do that. But yeah, lots of energies here. I don't need these at all, but we'll just put these to the side. And then you also have a bunch of packs inside. Little Trainer's Toolkit Deck Builder's Guide. So again, Trainer Toolkit, it's not really a collector's kind of item. This is more for the play. It's really just for the players. So here's a deck builder's guide if you want to build some decks. It'll give you some tips, some pointers. Oh my god, people are knocking on my door. We got Arceus VSTAR, Arceus V, Giratina V, Giratina VSTAR, and a lot of popular supporters that you might want to consider for your deck. And Misty is knocking at my door. Say hi to Misty. This is my dog, Misty. She loves you guys, and she's named after the gym leader. All right, Misty, it's time to go. You gotta go downstairs. I gotta go. I gotta film. I have to go to the movies after this. We have 2 packs of Paldea Evolved, 1 pack of Scarlet and Violet base set, and 1 pack of Silver Tempest. We'll get into that in just a second, but this right here is the special little package of cards that everyone buys these trainer toolkits for, so you can actually start building really good decks. I got a live studio audience right there. Missy's just watching. Just watching down below. All right, I'm gonna go through each of these individual cards just a little bit so I can give you guys some ideas of what they do, their power level, how good they are. We're not gonna spend a crazy amount of time on each card, but just a little bit. And then we're gonna open up these packs. So first up, we have Arceus VSTAR. This card right here used to be insanely expensive. The original version from Brilliant Stars, when it released, was like, you were paying $30 to $40 per Arceus VSTAR, and then maybe 15 to 18 per Arceus V. When this set released, Brilliant Stars was crazy expensive. Now, this Trainer's Toolkit alone, I think is like $30 Canadian plus tax or something like that. And you get not just the Arceus VSTAR promo, but an Arceus V, and then all these really playable supporters and trainer cards that you need to actually play the game. So the value of this box is definitely there. I highly recommend, like, this is a must buy, a absolute must buy Pokemon card product if you play the game competitively or are thinking about getting into it at a beginner level, because it just has so much staples, cards you're going to need for so many different decks. It really is like a really good base to start playing the game. Arceus VSTAR has 280 HP. It has the attack Trinity Nova, which is 3 colorless. It does 200 damage, and then you get to add 3 basic energies from your deck onto one of your Pokemon V. It could also be this Pokemon again itself, or another Arceus, or just any Pokemon V on your bench. So it really helps you set up the board, establish a presence, and on top of that, you have the powerful VSTAR Power Starburst, which says during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That is insanely strong. Being able to take any 2 cards you need from your deck and put them to your hand lets you play the game in the exact way you want to. So really great card, Arceus VSTAR. Next up, you got Arceus V. Promo art here as well, and it has the attack Trinity Charge for 2 colorless. It's not the same as the Trinity Nova because it doesn't do the 200 damage, but it also doesn't cost 3 energies. It costs 2 colorless, and the energy cost can also be fulfilled by using a card like Double Turbo Energy, which in pretty much every Arceus deck you're going to play 4 of, so you can, if you go first, attack with Trinity Nova on your turn 2 if you're lucky enough. So you have Trinity Charge. You can use this to charge up this Arceus V for the next turn, or a Pokemon V on your bench. Then you have Power Edge for 3 colorless. It does 130 damage. Now, it's not amazing. It's not going to knock out, you know, a lot of Pokemon Vs or V-Stars like that, but it does give you an option to attack if you have to attack as like a last resort with the Arceus V. So again, you get Arceus V and V-Star, these 2 amazing cards in this toolkit, and we are giving away both of these. So again, comment down below, you know, what you're going to do with the Arceus V and V-Star. And if you want some bonus ways to enter, I'll have a way you can enter on Twitter and on Instagram as well. So best of luck to everybody in the giveaway. And thanks again to Manta Trading for giving this box to me. I really appreciate it. Next up, we got Ultra Ball, one of the best cards in the game. Discard 2 cards from your hand and search for a Pokemon and add it to your hand. A lot of decks will run 4 copies of this, so let's see how many they gave. They gave 2. A really good card for consistency. They got the exact Pokemon you want, and being able to discard cards from your hand is also pretty powerful depending on the deck you are playing. If you're playing decks that run Barrel, that means you can lower your hand size so you can Barrel and draw more cards. You can also use it to get rid of cards that you want in your discard pile, like basic energy cards, or maybe a Zacian V Union piece or 2. Next up, we got Switch, another staple for the last 25 plus years of the card game. We got 2 copies of Switch. It has different art throughout the years, but it has always had the same effect. So yeah, Switch, you just switch your active and base, or you switch your active Pokemon with a bench Pokemon. Now this card is very important in the current format because there's a lot of stage 2 Pokemon out there, and setting up those stage 2 Pokemon can be really hard. So with the help of Rare Candy, you're able to evolve your basic Pokemon straight into the stage 2. So most decks will often run 4 of the basic, maybe 1 of the middle form, and then 3 or 4 of the stage 2, because Rare Candy helps fulfill that stage 1 requirement. And it's also a searchable card. You can use cards like Irida to search it out, or Arvin to search it out, or even Mew or Pokestop can take advantage of the fact that this is an item card. Next up, we got Professor's Research, one of the best supporters in the game. Tons of decks play this as well. This is the non-holo exclusive version, so it says you discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Drawing cards is very powerful. The fact that you get to draw 7 is really broken, but at a cost. You have to discard your hand, so you might lose a couple of key pieces, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But it feels really good when you Professor's Research with an empty hand or cards you just don't care about, because you know, drawing 7 is huge. That's a whole you're able to just do so much with 7 new cards. All right, so we got research at 1 copy for the male version, Professor Toro, and then a 2 copies of each, I guess. Yeah, 2 copies of each, and 2 copies of Professor Sada, the waifu professor, right there. Next up, we got Pokegear. You have 2 copies of this. You just search your top 7 cards for a supporter, so it can help filter out the supporters out of your deck. If you want a very particular one, it's very useful. And yeah, it's kind of luck based though, so you want to make sure your deck is a little thinned out if you can, so you can get that supporter, because if you don't get a supporter in the top 7, you just waste the card and nothing happens. 2 copies of Palpad, another essential staple of course in the game right now. It allows you to shuffle up to 2 supporter cards from your discard pile back into your deck, so very useful if you had to research away a supporter earlier in the game, or Pokestop, or something happened to a supporter that had to put it in the discard. We got Nestball. Nestball is an MVP. A lot of decks run 4. You're gonna want to have this card in most of your decks. It was also released way back in the Sun and Moon era as well, in Sun and Moon base set, and yeah, it's also in Scarlet and Violet base set too. So Nestball allows you to put 1 basic Pokemon from your deck onto your bench. The caveat here is it has to be a basic Pokemon, and that has to go straight to your bench. So if it's a card like Lumineon, which gets an advantage of being played from your hand to the bench, you don't get to take advantage of those kinds of effects. But Nestball is just so great for consistency. Getting the exact Pokemons you need when you want them, when you need them, is fantastic. Now in the previous format, we had Quick Ball, which was slightly different. It was discard a card from your hand to search for a basic Pokemon in your deck and add it to your hand. So you don't discard. The Nestball does just put your Pokemon straight onto the bench. 2 copies of Nestball. Next up, we got Jacques. If you guys are familiar with the Sword and Shield era, you had the item card Evolution Incense, which let you basically Nestball, put a Pokemon onto your bench, but this one is take an evolution Pokemon and put it into your hand. Jacques is kind of like that. It's a supporter, which says you can search up for 2 evolution Pokemon and add them to your hand. So not put it onto your bench, but it goes to your hand. Really useful, especially if your deck plays a lot of evolution Pokemon. Maybe you're playing like an Arceus Babbarrel kind of deck, so this will allow you to get that Arceus VSTAR. It'll allow you to get the Babbarrels to help you set up quicker. So we got 2 copies of Jacques right here. Next up, we got Electric Generator, a staple for electric decks out there. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and attach up to 2 basic energy cards that you find there and put them onto a benched electric Pokemon in any way you like. So you can see the combo right there is you play Nestball, get some electric Pokemon you want, and then Electric Generator only puts the energies onto the bench. So, you have a target ready for Electric Generator. Next up, we got Beach Court, one of the best stadiums in the game right now. Basically reduces all the basic Pokemon's retreat cost by 1, which means a lot of basic Pokemon can now just retreat for free, which is very, very handy. So Beach Court at 2. We got Arvin. Search your deck for an item card and a Pokemon tool card, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Really strong. It's kind of comparable to Iridel. However, Iridel only allows you to search for 1 water Pokemon and an item. Arvin is a little different. It's still an item card, but instead of a water Pokemon, it's a Pokemon tool. Arvin also allows you to grab something like a Battle VIP Pass. If you're going second on your first turn, you can grab that. Next up, we got Thornton. Thornton's not very popular. It's a very niche card, but it allows you to basically transform your basic Pokemon into a basic Pokemon that was in your discard pile. So it basically says your Pokemon is the Ditto and it gets to transform. The fun thing is Thornton can lead to some really, really creative plays where you just surprise evolve into something crazy. Maybe your Pokemon that you Thorntoned already has energies on it. You can just really make some cool plays with Thornton. The potential is really high, but it really is very situational card, so it does hurt your consistency if you want to put it in your deck. So most decks really just run 1, but if you have cards like Palpad, Pokegear, or Lumineon V to help search out for Thornton, then those Thornton plays become a lot more of a reliable kind of outcome you can make happen. Next up, we got Lost Vacuum, a staple card in a lot of decks as well. You put 1 of your cards in your hand into the Lost Zone along with the card you're targeting, which can be a Stadium or a tool. So really useful card to get rid of that pesky Stadium path to the peak. Lost Vacuum also just helps disrupt the board. So say your opponent has a tool that they have on it, like it's not Big Charm or Keep with Toughness anymore, but it's the one that does plus 50 HP for a basic Pokemon. You can get rid of that. You could get rid of a choice spell. It's a really strong card because you either get to target a Stadium or a tool, so it has flexibility like that. And say you have no purpose for it anymore, you can just target one of your own things, and that way your hand is thinned out 2 cards. cards, which could allow you to barrel for more cards if you wanted to do that, or Industrious Incisors. We got 2 copies of Trekking Shoes, a really good card for thinning out your deck of the cards you no longer want. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put it into your hand or you may discard it. So again, another card that could benefit very niche decks that really benefit from having specific cards in the discard pile. And you just get to go through your deck quicker, so you know you can see the cards you want faster. Trekking Shoe is a really good card. I need 4 gold cards of these. That'd be fantastic because you know you're watching Sneaker Talk. All right, we got Double Turbo Energy, one of the best energies in the game. When this card is on a Pokemon, it counts as 2 colorless energies. However, the attacks that it does will do 20 less damage. So that's the trade-off. So if you want to go for that turn 1 or turn 2 KO on your opponent's Pokemon V, you're gonna have this attached to your Arceus V-Star, and you're probably gonna use your V-Star power to search for something like a Choice Belt, so you can make up for that 20 damage reduction. It adds 30, and now you're hitting for 210, which is enough to knock out most Pokemon Vs. So yeah, double turbo energy at 4 copies. No, only 2. Only 2. Come on, man. Give us 4. I want 4. Bruh. All right, Roxanne, a really good comeback card. You can only use this card, though, when your opponent has 3 prizes left. Similar to Marty, how it helps you out and disrupts your opponent, Roxanne will instead give you 6 new cards from your deck, and your opponent only gets 2. So really good if you're running VMAX Pokemon or a bunch of single prize Pokemon where you force your opponent to get into 3 prize cards. And so you can sort of have like a comeback with Roxanne. Roseanne's Backup, a card you don't really see a lot of play. It's just like a recovery card. You get to grab 1 Pokemon, 1 tool, 1 stadium card, and 1 energy, and add them into your deck. It's just choose 1 or more. So very flexible, really good recovery card. But again, it's very situational kind of card as well. So Roseanne's Backup. We got Irida. Oh my gosh, Irida. I am hyped because Irida's a couple of dollars, man. You get a lot of really good value out of these toolkits because a lot of these supporter cards like Irida are like a couple of dollars. I remember buying like one the other day, just a non-hollow one for $3 too. So that's like $6 of value right there in Iridas. Irida, if you're playing a water Pokemon deck, you're probably gonna want to have 4 of Iridas in your deck. It's just amazing. It's broken. Search for a water Pokemon and an item card and reveal it. So you literally get, it's almost like a Starbirth. Like that's how cracked this card is. Irida is bae. Irida is not just a waifu for the collectors out there, but she is goated in terms of supporter ability, which is fantastic. So we got Irida at 2 copies. Very happy about that. We got Hisuian Heavy Ball, another fantastic card as well, which allows you to grab a basic Pokemon from your prize cards. Now, prize cards can be like make or break for some cases in a game. So you get to see your 6 prize cards, which is really nice. First of all, that's just a big plus. You don't have to go through the mental anguish and stress of figuring out what cards are in your prizes. You just use this card, you know what's in your prizes, and you can coordinate your game plan for that game accordingly. But you also get to grab a Pokemon from there, and then this card takes its place for the Pokemon. 2 copies of Hisuian Heavy Ball. We got Gutsy Pickaxe. It's an energy acceleration card for fighting type decks. So very, very good. Similar to Trekking Shoes, but not quite. So it says here, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a fighting energy card, attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. If it's not a fighting energy card, put it into your hand. So you get the +1 draw or +1 accelerate and energy. Broken. Really good card. All right, we got Magma Basin for energy acceleration for fire type Pokemon. You get to put a basic fire energy from your discard pile onto one of your benched Pokemon, and it does 20 damage to that benched Pokemon. You can combo this card with a fire Pokemon, that fire Mega Man Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. I forget the name off the top of my head. It evolves from Charcadet. And you get to use that ability, and it moves your you just move your energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. It's actually a cracked combination. So Magma Basin right here. Next up, we got Gardenia's Vigor for some more energy acceleration for grass type decks. Grass type Pokemon I've never seen, haven't seen so much support and love over the last couple of years. So yeah, Gardenia's Vigor, we thought it was going to be like really insanely strong for grass type Pokemon, but it never lived up to the hype. Still really good card though, could come in handy for decks that play a lot of grass energy, so you get to get that acceleration off. Next up, we got Gloria. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon that don't have a rule box and add them onto your bench. Really strong as well. Not using a lot of decks though. We got Dark Patch. You get to grab a basic dark energy from your discard and just put it onto one of your bench Pokemon. Really good card. So this is an example of where you want to target cards like a dark energy in your deck to discard. Really strong card. Every single dark deck is probably going to play a bunch of these, 3 to 4. Dark Patch is fantastic, and there used to be a metal version of this for the steel type Pokemon out there, Metal Saucer, but unfortunately that card rotated out during the rotation that happened. So yeah, so metal Pokemon are not nearly as good anymore without that acceleration. Dark Pokemon are still getting to thrive though, but dark Pokemon aren't insanely broken right now either. So we got Dark Patch right here at 2. We got Cynthia's Ambition as well. Draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. If a Pokemon you had was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw cards until you have 8. So kind of like a comeback card if the situation calls for it. Really good. We got Sharon's Care. Sharon's Care can combo very well with Arceus V, Arceus VSTAR. You basically get to retreat away back into your hand and continue playing the game. It says, put one of your colorless Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all attached cards into your hand. Really strong, just broken. And last but not least, before we get to the 4 booster packs right here that they included, they have the last 2 supporter cards in that bundle. We got Boss's Orders, one of the best cards in the game. This card is the reason that a lot of people end up winning their games because they just need to attack a particular Pokemon, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. So you get to target down the exact Pokemon you're going to attack into. 2 copies of a non-holo version of Boss's Orders. All right, next up, we got 4 packs here to get into, and let's start off with the Silver Tempest first. And if you guys want to see some more Pokemon content like this, again, of course, check out the rest of the channel, subscribe, maybe check out a tournament vlog or 2, and we have deck profiles as well coming up for a lot of Paldea Evolved decks. I'm working on some fun stuff. You guys are gonna love it, and the live streams will be back very, very soon. So make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss out on a live stream. But here we go. We got Lance, Slurpuff, Fungus, Elgium the Booty Bender, Solosis, Krogunk, an Esper made out of yarn, and a Zygarde non-holo. Paldea Evolved. I need to pull 2 more Meowscarada EXs. Can we pull them? Wacoco. We got Bramblin, Cufant, Krogunk, Falkner, Seviper, a Pyroar. Oh, cool, the Pyroar's in the set again. We got Maschiff Reverse, Marill Reverse, and a Kuparaja EX. Oh man, it's too bad Metal Pokemon are not very good anymore, but very cool that we were able to pull the whole evolutionary lineup right there. You could say basic to stage 1, and you are ready to go into a deck. Scarlet and Violet Paldea Evolved again. Here we go, and I'm kind of in a rush right now. We're gonna go see the Spider-Man movie tonight, me and my girlfriend, so hopefully that movie is awesome as it lives up, hopefully it lives up to the hype. All right, we got Mankey, we got Delibird, Super Rod, a really good card. You're gonna want to take this out of your bulk. It's usable in a lot of decks. I'm actually surprised they didn't include it in this toolkit, so you're gonna want to take that out. We got Love Disc, we got Dendra, Palossand, Raichu, a Snover, looking at it looks angry. Snover looks angry, man. All right, we got Fletchinder and a full art Noivern EX. Very nice, very nice. Probably one of the nicer full arts from the set. I just love the way the contrast is and the color is really cool. I was actually working on sort of a control deck the other night for Noivern EX. I just couldn't get it going exactly the way I wanted to. Last pack of the video for Scarlet and Violet base set right here. Can we pull another Miriam? Let's find out. All right. We got Fuecoco, Tropius, Pokeball, Rotom, Ultra Ball, take that out of your bulk, Esparathra, Arven, Citadel, Quaxley, and Annihilate. All right, go ahead, click on screen right now to watch another video. This one here is the one YouTube thinks you're gonna like the most. This one here is my first regional Pokemon card tournament at Vancouver, and this one right here is the first of the series from Japan that I filmed vlogging over there. So go ahead, click one of these videos, and I'll catch you guys in one of those ones. Peace out.